the sign of the time. It's a positive vibe. Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to another one of our podcasts. I am your host, Nakia. Thank you all for being here. First, I want to say thank you to everybody who has been contributing to the positive vibe movement. It is awesome. I'm digging the love. Everybody's digging the love. Thank you to everybody who shares the post, who comments, who likes, who talks about it. Everybody that's on the group, shout out to y'all. Love y'all. Couple of announcements. September 26th, that's this coming Saturday, we will be at the backyard event here in the city of Newport News. And I've been putting the flyers out there, so the information is out there. If you are in the area, please come out and support Black businesses. It's going to be a ton of us there. I think it was like 25 of us there last time. It might be 25, 30 of us there this time. But please come out, make sure that you support. Thank you to everybody who has been sending me emails and text messages of positivity. I love it. I appreciate you all. The next thing I want to say is that we put it out there, we put the word out there. We're looking for businesses, small businesses, entrepreneurs, and artists who want to be featured on the show. All you have to do is email me at positivevibesonly518@gmail.com. If you're when you want me to talk to you about the opportunities of being featured on the show. Today, we have a special guest. My friend, Ringomandingo from Just Saying Podcast, has agreed to join us, and he's with us on the phone. So I want to introduce you all to my homie, Ringomandingo. Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much. How you been?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Thank you for joining. I am so excited. So, I get giddy. So today we're going to be talking about how to stay positive when you feel that the odds are stacked against you. And this one, it goes both ways, which is why I wanted a male perspective on this, and I invited my friend. So I'm going to allow him to go first. How do you stay positive when you feel that the odds are stacked against you?
Well, the main thing I focused on is the things you can't control, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's like so many things in life that we absolutely have zero control of. And if you allow yourself to fall into that pitfall where it's like you worry about all those things that you can't do anything about,
Mm-hmm.
you can put yourself in a very negative space fast, you
Right.
know? And so for me, I just focus on all the things that I can deal with, all the things that I can control, and try to keep those things on the positive side and focus on your task, you know?
Yeah. It's for some people, I find that it's hard for them to get out of that negative space because something that's hit so hard, and some people want to wallow in it, which is very detrimental to trying to stay positive.
That's a fact.
For me, when the odds are stacked against me, my brain starts becoming analytical. And I
Mm-hmm.
start making plans X, Y, and Z. I'm going through the whole spectrum. Okay, so what could be worse? What's the worst case scenario in this situation? What's the best case scenario in this situation? Okay, how am I going to combat this? All right, what am I go? What is my outcome to this? What is my goal? And if I see things are stacked against me, depending on what it is, to be honest, depending on what it is, it's probably something I can't fight. But if it's something that I can't, I'm like, all right, like they say on Star Trek, resistance is futile.
Exactly.
If resistance is futile, then it's just something that I got to own up, and I got to take that L on that. But if it's something that I can control, then I'm going to try, instead of being angry and everything that I say come out angrily or, nasty, I'm going to say, well, why can't this happen? I'm going to ask a lot of questions to get a little more information or perspective. And then I'll just come up with a way like, okay, let's come up with a way to where we both can be happy.
Right. Yeah, that's about the pro. And like you said, the things that stack against you, it all depends on what those things are and how you handle them. My best, like I give people advice all the time, and I tell them, be a surfer, right?
Mm.
And people, they look at you like, what are you talking about? So you have to be a surfer out here.
Mm-hmm.
The waves are the things that come at you.
Right.
You can't do anything about the waves. can do is ride the wave. The better you get at riding the wave, the better you'll get at navigating through life, I feel. You know? And remaining positive. Keep yourself from drowning is the key. You know?
Yeah. Keep yourself afloat. I like that analogy. Ride the wave.
Ride the wave, man. You apply that to work, life, love, everything. Ride the wave, man.
Oh yeah, my homegirl always say, "Don't rock the boat."
Right.
Just sit in and ride.
Let it go, man. Set your boundaries. Set your distance. Do what you got to do to protect your energy. And then, like I said, if you can't control it, just deal with it. Ride your wave, and I guarantee you come out on top in a much better place. And especially if you started off somewhere low. You know.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What about when it comes to dealing with so we can go 3 different ways on this. So the first way I want to go is with family members. How do you deal with family members who stack things against you when you know you haven't done anything wrong? For an example, when I was younger, I used to get blamed for a lot of stuff that I didn't even know I was involved in. And because my grandmother was my defense attorney, no matter what they said to her, you couldn't say nothing wrong about me. And she would always tell them one person can't be wrong all the time. Why are y'all always bagging on her and trying to jump on her to get her in some kind of trouble? And it's like, oh, grandma, you always protecting her. How do you deal when your family members do that and then they go to the person who they know is on your side and they try to convince them otherwise?
That one is tough because with family, you don't get to choose that.
Right.
That's blood. It is what it is. But I do feel like, I mean, your example, of course, you were a child. But like as an adult now, though, man, the way we get to set our space, set our boundaries, the way we can protect our peace and stuff now, you really can put yourself up. Like no matter what they're saying or doing, you can shield yourself from all of that foolishness.
Right.
Sometimes the problem kicks in when you're trying to correct what's being said or being done. If someone's like trying to assassinate your character, and you want to go out there and campaign for yourself. No, that's not me. Or, that's not my thing. Or, I didn't do that, And you will mess around and stress yourself out doing that.
Right.
Worrying about what people think. And the thing about it is the people that really know you, like your grandmother, they don't believe in that.
Yep.
And they see the person for who they are, whether it's family or not. So in that situation, in order to stay positive, it's like, it doesn't matter who they are to you. Mother, father, uncle, sisters, brothers, it doesn't matter if they have like some type of negative energy for you, you just have to distance yourself. You have to protect your peace and yourself against all of that,
Absolutely. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with distancing yourself. Some people can't ride with you where you going. They can't go with you. You can't take everybody with you. And the sad part about that is when you have family members that get mad, like, oh, you can't talk to me no more. You ain't got nothing to say to me no more. I had to distance myself from your energy.
Right.
I had to distance myself. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means that I had to separate myself and bring myself out of this situation because, like you said, I'm going to stress myself out trying to defend myself against whatever it is that you're trying to bring my way.
Exactly. And it's so funny how the people that are like that normally don't understand why you're doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I've had people literally go on a full-blown smear campaign. You find out about it. Let's say you're brave enough to confront them directly, or close enough to confront them directly, especially if it's family or somebody. And of course, what do? They deny, right?
Right.
I didn't say that. I didn't do that. And so you still trying to keep it positive. You're not bucking on them. You're not going down to their level. And you just want to know the why. What are you doing? Like, what's your purpose, right? And they don't have it. So then you go go into that mode that I was just talking about. You start protecting your energy, and then they don't understand why you're not rocking with them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And those people confuse me because it's like the accountability is like out of the window.
Yeah.
I do all of these things and I bring all of this negativity, and I don't understand why people don't like me. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at them like, are you serious? And even if you try to fix it, sometimes I see like you can stress yourself out trying to get them to see what it is. People won't see things until it's time for them to see it.
Exactly.
You can talk to them and see you blue in the face and they won't get it. And then one day they'll have an epiphany. Hopefully it's before they on their deathbed or anything like that. But it'll just hit them and they'll be like, wow, I was a jerk all this time.
Yeah.
And believe they hit that before long goes by.
Or you have those ones that want to be wrong and strong and still don't see the wrong in what they did.
Yeah, those people are nuts.
Those people, it's a sad thing when you clearly, as you're explaining it to the person, listen, I don't rock with you because of X, Y, and Z, and you said X, Y, and Z, and I'm not feeling it. I don't trust you anymore. However you want to frame it and how you say it to the person, then it's like, oh, you just saying that. You just saying it. No, I just gave you examples. I gave you information. I gave you specifics of what you did, and you don't see anything wrong with that. I got to leave you to your own demise because me trying to continuously explain it to you to get you to understand is giving me a headache.
Yeah, you staffing your own energy trying to convince them of their own crimes, so that's real.
And that just grinds my gears. So, and the other take of it is, because I said I was going to do 3. So the other take on it is when it comes to work. Now, when you're at work and, when you work for somebody, it's like you got to follow their rules regardless, whatever it is. If not, they're going to say your services are no longer needed. How do you stay positive when you know that something that was said, something that was done, something that was put in place, it's like, oh, this is going to make it harder for me, but I still got to do my job and keep up the stiff upper lip.
Right. Well, the main thing is just stay focused on what you're there for, right? You're there you have a task, you have a job, you were hired to do something, right?
Right.
Whatever that thing is. So no matter what comes down the pipeline, it could be something that could be a hindrance. It could be something that just makes things more difficult for no reason. It could be something that will totally change how you do things, right?
Right.
And again, those are all things you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to focus on what you're there to do. Even if your primary goal is as simple as I'm here to collect the paycheck, right? Do what you have to do to get this set, ride your waves, and clock out when it's time to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. So, like, if you focus on anything other than those things, or, it could be more than the page, but whatever your thing is, you're going to be stressed out and angry. And in the second, the job or whatever you're doing doesn't outweigh your end goal, then it's time for you to move on.
Right. Right.
And we've all been through that as adults where you're working at a job and this isn't for you anymore.
Right. Right.
You get to that point where, like, you dread going in. You're stressed out.
Physically sick.
Right. You start to have physical symptoms. All of a sudden, your stomach hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You never had any stomach issues before. So, when you deal with those things, like no matter what the odds of, you have to focus on your end goal. If you're using that income to invest in something else, if you're just using that income to live your life, to maintain your current lifestyle, if you are, whatever your goal is, you have to stay focused on that. And especially where those hindrances and those things that block you start taking you off of your trajectory for the goal, like it's time to move on and you have to put that distance again.
Yeah. What I do is I learned this early on when I was in college, because I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, And
Mm-hmm.
she told me make work fun.
Right.
So I didn't understand what that meant. I was in my early 20s. I was in college just trying to get the job first. But she told me to make work fun. So once I started working, I found the things that I liked about my job to make it
Mm-hmm.
fun for me. So that's what I look forward to. So I
Right.
always look forward to whatever the goal was for the day, whatever my deadlines were for that day, whatever I had to process for that day, whatever phone calls I had to make. I wanted to make it fun. And that's where I got to the point to where I enjoyed my job. So when those other things that come, are stacked against me and really trying to mess it up, I'm like, okay, I see where you're going and I understand what you're trying to push forward. But can I say that it's going to, throw something off over here or throw something off over there? I just want to say it. And then I find a way to implement that into what I'm doing now and make it fun for me so I don't focus on, oh, this is going to mess everything up.
Right.
And to the other point that you made, there was a job that I had where I would get physically sick when I got up in the morning because I knew I had to get on the train and ride the train for an hour and a half to get to this job where I was not having fun. I didn't enjoy it. Getting to the building, I would get headaches. It was just awful. And I realized that, you know what? I don't need to be here anymore.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fun. I couldn't find, let me say, I couldn't find the fun. And I was only there for a short period of time. I think I was there for like 6 months. But I couldn't find the fun. You know, I was trying to
Right.
figure out what the goal was and I couldn't find the fun. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And people say don't quit a job until you have another one. But in that instance, I was like, I got to stop because this is not.
Yeah, I gotta make moves on that.
Yeah, I can't because either I'm going to continue to come to this job and get physically sick and then it starts really taking a toll on me, or I need to just relieve myself and just be done with it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So on number 3, I want to talk about how to stay positive when the odds are stacked against you is right now in today's society and all of the racial tension and everything that's going on. um
Mm-hmm.
how do you stay positive based upon everything that's going on right now?
When it comes to society and the world, it's sad to say, well, because of what we look like, it's always been like that our whole lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, you're staying positive because you're used to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's bad, right?
Right.
On the one hand, it's not as bad as how our parents or grandparents, our great grandparents had it,
Right.
But things are still in place. It's still systemic. It's like they're throwing the stones and hiding their hands,
Right.
right?
Right.
And we deal with that on the daily, from the police brutality to the president right now,
Mm-hmm.
who he is. From it's just a bunch of things, and it can get super heavy for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Not just the people that look like us because we've gone through it, but for those watching too.
Right.
If we can empathize and sympathize with somebody else, it is heavy out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, for me, you definitely have to protect yourself from all of that.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, like sometimes when a new police brutality video comes out, I don't jump to watch it.
Me either.
Because I've seen it. The same video again and again. It's just a new face, you know? If it's, you hear about things that 45 is doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't run to that article to read it. I don't run to that video to watch it because you already know what it is.
Right.
So instead, I tend to focus on the things that will change that, you know?
Right.
I like to focus on, okay, so, yeah, we lost George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Elijah McClain and all of these people, and even though it took their deaths, unfortunately, look what it sparked, though.
Yeah.
We out here.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking united for once as a people.
Yeah.
We're pushing for change, and we're getting something. The stuff that they're giving us, if you pay attention, is some frivolous BS sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's more than what we had before, right?
Right.
And I really do think we're still striving and working toward the real change, which would be the ownership and the seats in the boardroom,
yep.
and having like real power over things. So I focus on that stuff.
Right.
You know, despite the negative was what provokes those things, but I still focus on the result of it versus, you know, being there. Yeah. You have to be present because you got to see it. You got to absorb it. But you do got to look at, there's some fruits coming from this labor that's going out, right?
Yeah.
And these sacrifices. Sometimes I take a lot of refuge in some of the old videos. I watched this stupid old Malcolm X video, 23 seconds long, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was old timey, it was all black and white. And you know how the news guys used to sound back in the day, they all sounded the same.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I'm Freckz, and how do you feel about the racial change? Another attention. And I was like, why do they always sound like that? But so he asked Malcolm X, how does he feel about the progress of the civil rights movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Malcolm X, who I didn't even realize, you know, I wasn't born at this time. From our time frame, we watching videos and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that man used to think on such a different wavelength back then. That man told the reporter, he said, progress? What progress?
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, you know, the things that you and Dr. Martin Luther King are doing, you're moving this forward, and you know, black people are getting this right, blah, blah, blah. How do you feel about that? He was like, if America has the knife in my back 9 inches, I can't be impressed if they pull it out to 6.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, the whole time I'm still stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, and the problem that we have in the day is that they're not even acknowledging that knife exists.
Yep.
I said, damn, that's what that man was talking about back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, man. I was like, I see why they had to take him out. Because he was about to wake everybody up.
Everybody.
You know?
And you know what, to that point, me and my brother had a conversation, and this is pretty much not off topic, but a little bit off topic, where I was saying I don't understand why when I'm trying to say something, I get shut down. And he was like, because you're empowering other people. I said, what do you mean? They don't want other people to think like you. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not trying to get nobody to think like me. I'm pretty much saying like, okay, this is not going to work for me. Can we do X, Y, and Z? And you know, I just want, I understand, like I said before, I understand where you're going, but how can this work for me? Because I'm already doing this, and you throw that in there, it's not going to work. Oh, we'll talk about it later. And then he would tell me, as a matter of fact, we had it recently. He said that it's because regardless to what your end result was, you're going to enlighten other people to where other people are going to be like, yeah, you know, she right. You know what? I never thought of that. And that's the hard part that we deal with in today's society. They want to shut you up. They want to shut you down. And if
you provoke everybody else and spark all types of true change, or unity, or community,
Yep. Or talk negative about somebody that's trying to build up, because they don't want you to empower others. And then when you was talking about Malcolm X and what he was saying, something that came to mind, where back in the day, if you were being accosted by a white person and you fought back, you would get in trouble for fighting back. They wouldn't get in trouble for bothering you. You would get in trouble for fighting back. So now what you have is, I'm not going to get in trouble if I fight you back. I'm warning you to leave me alone. But you keep on pressing me, then I'm going to take it out on you. And that's when you have all of these different videos out there where the mentality of the people is, nah, you can't talk back to me. Oh, yes, I can, because I won't get in trouble just by talking back to you.
Right. Yeah,
and to the other point of the videos, I refuse to watch them. Like, I'll scroll past them on my timeline. Or if something just recently happened, I won't even be on there. I'll be on YouTube doing something, because every 5 seconds you're scrolling through, and the way Facebook is set up, it'll start playing as you're scrolling through. I'm like, I don't want to see this. It's almost like murder porn. I don't want to see it. Like you said, we've seen it. What can we do to change that? What can we do to, make it better? And like to your point, what Malcolm X said, yeah, wow, there's no progress if I still got the knife in my back 3 inches. How about you recognize that the knife is there, pull it out, and let's work together towards a better us.
It ain't gonna be better till the wound heals.
Exactly.
The wound ain't never gonna heal with a knife in there, so.
Nope.
I was like, that man was thinking different.
Yeah.
So, but everything he's saying, him and Farrakhan, a couple other people, still applies to this day in 2020. Like you said, the progress has been made. We got a lot more power. It's a lot. I mean, the things are still happening to us.
Right.
But like you said, somebody can't just come up to me and be like, boy, do X, Y, Z,
Exactly.
That's not
like, nah, fam, that's not how any of that works.
Yeah.
And
I give props to everybody who's like in the whole fight together.
Yeah. That's why I watch Roland Martin a lot. Cause he's in the trenches and he got the people that you need to talk to, what you need to do, and I share a lot of his videos because we can't focus, like I said, focus on the negative of what's happening. Yes, it's happening. We're not saying dismiss it. We're not saying that at all, but don't put too much energy into that. Put energy more into how do we fix this? What do we do? What can we do? What will we do moving forward? Right. So that is the end of our show. Thank you so much, Ringo, for coming. I really, really appreciate it. And I love the perspective that you gave. You are a welcome guest anytime on our podcast. Any closing remarks? You got any closing remarks?
Hey man, keep doing what you're doing. Keep spreading these positive vibes. They definitely need them out here. I appreciate what you're doing too. Your show is dope.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on there. And I just hope your audience continues to help you grow because that's what we need out here, man. Those likes, those comments, those shares, they're free. They're free.
They're free. You don't have to pay for.
Something really become something else if you just. That's all you got to do, man. It's effortless.
All right. Let everybody know where they can find you and about your own podcast.
This is Ringo. You got me on hashtag Just Saying Podcast. You can hear my podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Deezer. We have our Facebook page set up, hashtag Just Saying Podcast. And you can follow us on Instagram @ Just Saying Podcast. So, yep.
So make sure y'all go out there and find it, follow him. I guarantee you're in for a laugh. I'll be busting out laughing every time I listen to their podcast. They're awesome.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to give my spiel. You can hang up. I'm going to give my spiel and end the show. Thank you.
All right.
Alrighty, bye. That was awesome, guys. I really, really appreciate him taking the time to spend time with us and talk on some good topics. I think this was a great conversation, and I look forward to having many, many more with different guests. So back to our spiel. So again, the backyard event this Saturday, September 26th, in the city of Newport News. The information is out there. It's on the page. It's on all of the pages. It's on our Instagram, our Facebook, and our Facebook group page, and it's also on my personal page. So make sure you get the information. Come out and support Black businesses. And our featured Black business for today is, well, it's two. So I'm going to show you the card. So it's Twisted Freckz, this way, and then Freckz Fashion. So she has two businesses. One business is she does locks. She twists locks. She's a loctician. And then the other business is that she has different fashion items. So she has hats, gloves, sunglasses. What else? Let me go to the page. Give me a second. Hats, gloves, sunglasses. She also has like Naruto, the character brands, things. She also has different shirts, different socks with the characters on it, fanny packs, different things like that. Make sure that you check her out. Her information is in the description. And like some of this stuff is really cool. If you are a gamer or you like anime, Naruto, or even Looney Tunes, she has those. She has some trending, really good looking shades. If you like shades like that, make sure that you check her out. And I thank you all. I thank you all again. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. I saw the comments. Thank you so much for being there. Hey, Pumpkin. Hey, Robin. Hey, Auntie. Thank you all for commenting. I really appreciate it. But I was in the conversation and I didn't get to the comments, so I do apologize for that. But I thank you all. I love you all. And as I say in closing, control the narrative. Keep it positive. Positive vibes only, guys. Y'all have a great day. Bye.